Hey Gemini Seeker, how are you? Welcome to your April Taroscope. Welcome to the Existential Shift. So grateful to have you around. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Cross Watcher, intuitively guided. Whoever you are, love ya. Okay, let's see what's going on with the energies for you guys, my amazing seekers, for this coming month. Happy spring. Almost your season. Almost your season. But happy nonetheless. Okay. Gemini, please. These are the after tarot, by the way, in case you were wondering. Show me guidance, please, for my Geminis for this coming month. The Hermit. Are you in your evolved state, Gemini? Too much. Seven of Swords was up, but too many cards. Not all at once. Pacing ourselves with patience and wisdom and spiritual maturity. The stigma about the Geminis is that they're very lighthearted, all over the place intellectually, very communicative, very on the surface. But Geminis are some of the most spiritual people I've met. My first tarot teacher was a Gemini, is a Gemini. Teal Swan, I believe, is a Gemini. When you're an evolved aspect of the Gemini notion, you are in the other worlds and you are in the underworlds. You are everywhere, not nowhere, everywhere. So your human state, well, since we have this physical body that kind of keeps us separate from that ideal expression of our soul, of our spirit, not completely separate, but more on the journey towards that, is kind of find it challenging to be that magic within this condensed form. So how does it come about? I want to talk to you, but I want to talk to you, and I want to listen to you, but I want to listen to you, and I want to, and it looks messy, but it's actually brilliant. And yes, sometimes it gives you a headache, and sometimes it gives the people who love you a headache. But it's a lovely headache. All I'm saying is be aware of it. You're starting to be aware of it, maybe some of you. We've already been aware of it, I don't know. Awareness exists to that. And a lot of you are like thinking, how can I take these characteristics in me, the twins in me, duality in me, the never-ending curiosity of me, and translate it into something inspiring and bountiful as opposed to something confusing and that is possibly spread out thin. Possibly. I'm not saying for sure. Those of you who resonate, you resonate. If you don't, it's okay. You can watch your other placements or just be like, bye. It's okay. That's all right. You're on a quest, Gemini. The Hermit, when it's the first card coming out, you're on a quest. You're seeking, finding answers. And the passion is stirring because something ignites something in you, the Knight of Wands. So something clicks. An aha moment, an eureka, an understanding. Maybe you're experiencing it now, maybe you've experienced it recently, maybe it's coming soon. But there's a... and then movement. So from being completely inner, searching inside, once it's found, you're charging with it. You want it to wait until you are sure. You want it to be certain. I respect that. This time that you have taken or that you are taking isn't stalling, isn't anything. The Hermit is wise. It annihilates itself, himself, herself for a reason. It needs to go within. And once it's ready, it's coming out. Gemini. Let's keep going, please. For April, show me, where are we headed? Where is this Knight of Wands headed? Some of you are still in that inner space, but you're waiting for something to ignite your passion. You're waiting for that one thing to click so you can be on the move. Really? That's your evil twin, Gem. The devil. So from complete hermiting, full on, hey, I'm here, let's play. If I haven't completely found my specific, accurate thing, maybe instead of being in solitude, I should just go out and play. If it's sexual, be careful, Gemini. Be responsible. Be responsible not only physically, but emotionally and energetically. The Emperor, the Magician, the Death card. Wow. A lot of power in this reading. I only have major arcanas and a Knight. It brings with a lot of pressure. The Hermit, the Devil, the Emperor, the Magician, the Death. Very self-absorbed and intense energy. And when I say self-absorbed, yes, it could be selfish. But it can also be very, 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 very inner for the reason of maintaining, gathering, holding, harnessing energy, strength. Because you're on some sort of a mission. You want to achieve something. You want to create something. You want to move the mountain that is you, if you can ever be compared to a mountain. But you want to have the power in some way, Gemini. And it's like you are gathering it from every source. Some of you are doing like, like the guided meditation of going back into situations in the past, could be in this lifetime, it could be in past lifetimes, of asking for the pieces, for lost pieces of your soul and of your energy to be retrieved and taking it back from situations. Some of you are doing a lot of meditation and energy work. Some of you are highly focused on your work, excessively, possessively, aggressively focused on your work, because you're on a mission. We have Hades, the god of the underworld. We have Zeus, the god of the sky. Poseidon haven't appeared yet, but we have Hermit, the Hermit of Kronos, the god of everything. The god of sky was the father of these characters. So who will be in ruling? Who will be in control? Look, this doesn't have to be battle on the battle for the Olympus, okay? Or for the heavens and the oceans and the realms. This could simply be for a position at work, you know. But I'm tapping into an energy that wants what it wants, and for some of you, it's like means to an end, like everything goes, all fair in love and war kind of thing. I'm going to say something that is not relevant to all of you. Be careful not to drown in your own ambition, Gemini, because even though the power here is very clear, like this is superpowers, this is supernatural power. Every dictator has its downfall. I'm not saying you're a dictator. Breathe. But it's just a phrase to express how power is always, throughout history, how should I say it? It's like the gods, every time someone behaves godly, or but not from a place of, oh, I'm part of creation, thus I'm a creator, but more from a place of ego potentially, or extreme ambition, they tend to, throughout history you can see it. I noticed that, where they let them rise, but then the fall is so brutal and painful. Again, I'm not saying that that is what you're doing, or that is what is going to happen to you, but I'm saying if you resonate with what I'm saying, specifically you understand what I mean, this is the warning, okay? When there is so much spiritual knowledge and intensity, the question is, what do you do with it? Not what you do with it on the surface, what do you do with it in essence? Because all eyes are on you, Gemini, for some reason. You're being watched. You're either being watched by powerful people or by powerful energies. Right? If you sleep with dogs, you wake up with fleas. Oh, that's an ugly analogy. But if you play with energy with a lot of forces, then don't be surprised that a lot of forces are watching. And do you want those forces? Or maybe you just want some of them, and maybe you need to be more particular and discerning in regards to the forces that you allow to watch you. And how do you do that? You know, similar attracts. So if you behave devilish, you attract devilish spirit energy, okay? If you behave hermit, you attract more like of ancestral, ancient wisdom of your culture and heritage kind of energy and spirit. If you behave magician emperor, then you attract a lot of power forces and communication, Mercurial forces, and Mars kind of forces that give you a lot of power and energy and mental ability to achieve certain things. Okay, great, that's good. But the line between the Emperor and the Devil is very thin, because they're both are about power. Some of you are literally willing to go very, very deep, either into doing shadow work, in order not just to find certain truth, but find a way of how to work with that energy. It's like when you're just hoarding energy, and holding it for the right time and the right place to use it, which is mastery. It's mastery. It's great. But once again, I cannot avoid the Devil and the Knight of Wands combination right next to the Emperor. Something, and just this group of powerhouses. Because I don't, other than the Hermit, I don't have purity here. I don't have temperance. I don't have the Star on the table. I don't have strength. I don't have the Empress. I don't even have the Hangman or the Hierophant. And that worries me. Maybe they'll come out. With great power comes great responsibility, Gemini. Great responsibility, greater than the power itself. Some of you, and this is very few of you, maybe even one of you, are journeying, you're going on a journey of discovery or learning about, you know, ancient gods and ancient deities from different cultures. That's kind of cool. But always keep yourself at check, Gemini. Always keep yourself at check. Okay, let's keep going. Like, why not like a Two of Cups, Six of Wands energy? What's the drama? Don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous, it's fascinating, but you know, I have to tell you as I have to say it as it is, right? That's my job here for you. Let's keep going for Geminis who are watching, please, my Gemini seekers. For April, for this coming month. Four of Wands, okay. So there's a lot of achievements here, Gemini. A lot of power, a lot of manifestation. And it's happening. It's not in the potential far out future. You went, you got it, you have it. Eight of Wands, the High Priestess, and Nine of Cups, in case we didn't have enough powerhouses. But the first feminine. Such masculine energy, right? Yes, I have Mercury here, who's both masculine and feminine. Okay, of course. But it still depicts, it is still depicted in this deck by male figures. And here we have the High Priestess. She is the counterpart for the Death card, Hades and Persephone. She is the counterpart for the Devil. They both rule the realm of the dead. She's the counterpart for the Magician and Mercurial sorcerer, creator, magic entity. And she's the counterpart for the Hermit. Very ancient knowledge and wisdom and teachings. They hold the Book of Shadows. Persephone and Hades, Morgane Le Fay and Merlin. The myth here is, you know, off the charts. But point being is, someone has some competition over her. Because here's what people don't understand. This lady here is more powerful than all of them together. All of them together, she's more powerful because she is all of them. She's the ruler of the life and of the death. She's between the poles. She is the gate between the world. Hi, Gemini, speaking of. She's the polarities, she is the duality, but she is the field that holds the polarities and dualities. It's the Tao, okay? If someone dares to correct me and say Tao, I'm gonna not be nice. T-A-O. Yes, in English it's pronounced Tao, but it's whatever. Whatever. Americans knows best. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, let's get back to it. Eight of Wands, the High Priestess, Nine of Cups. This is a very powerful reading with a lot of wish fulfilled and achievements and success. That is probably a result of all this energy that you've managed to harness and herd and kind of, you know, work with and for you. So things are coming in. Results are coming in. Things that you've manifested for a really long time are starting to come in. Naturally, I would ask, can you contain it? Are you ready? But you are. You are. Those of you who are watching and resonating. You are. It's very hard to communicate with people, you know, like small talk, when you know so much, when you see right through their mechanism, when you see through all their layers, all their self-deceit, all their fears, all their hopes, and you just see the, you know, just the light, the spark of their heart, and then the story around it, the story that they've told themselves throughout many, many lifetimes, you know, the costumes that their soul is wearing. Once you gain that ability, that MRI kind of sight, I can see. That's when another work begins of achieving another skill, which is faking simplicity, faking the small talk, faking the mundane daily affairs. Oh, let's talk about politics, let's talk about fashion, let's talk about, you know, ex-boyfriends. Those are meaningful things, and they're a part of all of our lives. None of us is exempt unless we're living in a cave. But if we're living in society, we're not exempt. We live through these things, therefore they are worthy of a conversation. And yet, when you hold all this energy that all this, it becomes almost like, I'm not going to say what I was about to say, because it's going to sound so pretentious. There's no way of saying it without sounding pretentious. So if you resonate with all this power and you find yourself in a lot of social situations or group scenarios, conversations where you feel like all you want to do is sit in a corner and stare at people and see through their mechanism and not really talk, because you know that no conversation could. Play the game. I don't have the hangman here yet, but the hangman is about changing perspective and playing the game and seeing the spirituality in every situation, seeing the depths in every conversation, seeing the truth behind every lie. But if that's what you're experiencing, that's what you need to do right now. See the depth in every small talk, see the truth behind every lie, even if it's not a blunt lie, even if it's a white lie, even if it's a self-deceit, denial, some sort of mechanism lie that someone in front of you is having. Find the joy in it. Find the life, because you can't lose yourself with all this. You can't lose yourself with all this. You have to find the thing that still connects you to the earth, because the earth is part of this experience. These guys rule the underworld. They're underneath the earth. The sky, the earth, it's just different expressions of the same thing, okay? Different shape to the same molecular, not molecular, different structure to the same molecule. I hope I'm speaking in a clear way and I'm not confusing you. Show me more, please, for Gemini. This is the last reading for April and you guys are bringing it. You're like, oh, you had us wait. I'm going to show you some reading. Thank you, Gemini. I actually do appreciate your trust. I actually do appreciate that this energy has found its way to my channel. I'm accepting it with much love and appreciation and understanding. Let's see further, please, for Gemini. Too much, too much. Gemini, April, show me more, please. Explain this further and show me more. Five of Pentacles. Okay, let's take one more out. That's interesting, an interesting turn. And the Two of Pentacles just kind of flew. Five of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. And there came the coins. Okay. This could relate to be careful what you do with your power. If there is a dilemma between doing a rotten thing versus a virtue thing, choose the virtue. Choose the virtue. Choose the virtue, Gemini. Choose the virtue. Do not toy with energies right now. Do not toy with your karma right now. Some of you have been granted a gift. Portal opening. Tapping into energy of source and creation in the way many people can only dream of. Choose the virtue. Choose the virtue. Because the ego and the corruption is probably the biggest test a spiritual warrior can go through. And it happens right at the end. After you went through so much. And if you fail that one, you go all the way back to the bottom. Like not even one or two stages back, like all the way back to the bottom. For those of you that it happened to, you have an opportunity to start anew somewhere else. Take it. For those of you that it didn't happen to, don't let it happen to you by choosing virtue. I don't know how many times I've said it in this past minute, but there's a reason why I'm saying it. Nine of Cups. You know what? Some of you are going to resent me for it. I don't care. I just don't feel like taking him into this reading. It's just too little for all this too big. Yeah, if there's someone that is kind of toying with their feelings towards you, I want to, I don't want to, I like you, I don't like you, just like seriously, don't entertain that. Be like, this is my standards. These are my standards. You know, step up or bow out. I didn't even let the Knight of Cups into this reading. You don't have room for that crap. All these gods and goddesses and, you know, like a little knight that comes with promises but then drinks their own promises. Step up or bow out. That's what you say. If they're coming shady, shaky, unclear, still confused, it's fucking boring. You know it's boring. You're bored with small talk. You're bored with meaningless, mundane things when you know this much. So that's what you're accepting into your life. Someone who doesn't know if they want to spend time with you. Then they have a serious mental problem. Who doesn't want to spend time with a god or with a goddess? Yeah, Gemini, you sweetheart. Oh wow, I'm letting it out. My Mars is in Gemini. And Mars is currently in Gemini. I can see why I'm lashing out on the Gemini reading. With love and you know, good vibes. I hope you notice that. But with love. How do I call this reading? Some of you have been used to a life of luxury and something happened that makes you have to live a bit less, with less financial freedom, to kind of more to your means, more like your means, and it's challenging and it's hard, and you kind of need to set your priorities straight when you're not used to setting your priorities. You're used to having whatever you want, whenever you want. Some of you, it relates to you. Because someone may have been power hungry and maybe spent too much or invested too much or went one step too far. One little step too far, probably from arrogance and from overambition, and boom. And here's the thing about the illusion, why it's so dangerous, and to admire the illusion, to admire, white lies, and why truth and sincerity and authenticity to essence, to source, are so much more important than you can ever imagine. Here's why. I'm going to focus on the meat aspect, and this is going to be a little bit, some of you are not going to feel comfortable with what I'm about to say, but it's important because you're here to speak about energy and to grow and to expand, so this is something you need to hear. We are what we eat. What you put inside your body, you integrate inside of you, to you. It becomes a part of you. So when you put in a tortured, tormented, terrified, incarcerated, miserable pig / cow / chicken, that in essence are pure beings, pure beings. Pigs are some of the smartest creatures, but even if they're not smart, it's not about that. They're so, pigs and cows and all of them are so pure. Yansu in Japanese, pure. And then they go through in the meat industry and whatever it is that you think they go through, you don't know, okay? If you're not really into that, if you don't see the videos and see the documentaries, and if you're not already vegetarian / vegan, if you're still eating that, then you don't know. You might think you know, but you don't. The chemicals of fear and pain that goes into their flesh because of what they experience for their entire lifetime. It's not just that moment of killing. It's from when they are born, the way they are treated, what they go through until the death. It's all of it. And of course, the biological aspect of, the added hormones and chemicals and antibiotics that are weakening us physically. But then there's also that energy of the terror and fright. You're putting all that horrible karma that the pig or the cow or the chicken has, when we inflict that on purity, we take that karma. And it doesn't matter if you did it by your own hands or if you paid someone else to do that for you and you don't even see it. When you go to court, who's to blame? The one who pressed the trigger or the one who ordered the hit? Think about it for a second. Who's more responsible? The one who pressed the trigger or the one who ordered the hit? And think about yourself in that metaphor. Ordering the hit. When you pay for something, you create it. When you create something, you are in a way it, most especially if you intake it. So what is on the surface seemingly beautiful and tasty and spiced and smells good, whatever. It reminds you of home and your childhood. Okay, and your culture and the food. Okay, great, I understand it. I'm an Israeli Jew that her grandparents are from Morocco. I understand food. You can't, I grew up working in restaurants, all kinds of restaurants. I love food. I understand food. I'm a Taurus. Need I say more? But it's supposed to be about the energy and about the health and about the strength that it gives you, not about the rot. Are you understanding now what I'm saying? And the only reason you're getting this conversation is because all of these, because the hermit, the devil, the emperor, the magician, the death, the high priestess, all in one freaking reading. It's crazy. And you see me shuffling the cards. It's crazy. For those of you who read tarot, you understand. So I can talk to you this way. You need to understand how energy works. What you put inside of you, it gets integrated within you. It's a part of you. It becomes a part of you. That rot, that pain, that fear, that torment, that horrible karma that we take upon ourselves by creating this. And don't start talking to me about nature. Oh, overpopulation. We create this life in order to kill this life, okay? We bring these pigs into the world and these cows into the world. We over create them. Right? We impregnate cows. A cow gets pregnant an average of 4 or 5 times throughout her life, once a year. Did you know that? So she can continue producing milk. And every time she gives birth, her baby is taken away from her on the first day. They go, if it's a male, he goes become a veal. Okay, if it's a female, she goes herself also into the rotation, into that cycle, being a dairy cow and then a meat cow. Okay, so every time they take their baby on the first day, they suck the milk out of them so we can drink it. They cry for weeks because they're mothers. The cow is the great mother. They're sacred in India for a reason, okay? It's the earth. It's the symbol of Gaia. And we're taking her babies to drink her resources. Does that ring a bell? And then after about 4 or 5 years, they just collapse. They just can't. Their bodies are so sick they can't. And then and that's your steak. And they send them to the slaughterhouse. I'm not going to go into all the stories. You have endless documentaries you can watch. You know, the truth is out there. Information is out there. If you don't know it, it's because you choose. You know, it's ignorant by choice. So I'm not going to lecture you that. You can choose to go and know, you can choose to not. It's up to you. But bottom line is, we create this cycle. There's no nature there. Zero nature. Most of these creatures haven't seen grass in their lifetimes. Most cows today don't see grass. And pigs in the meat industry, they don't even understand that concept. They're locked in cages. Okay, so sorry, I went into a rant. What I'm trying to explain to you is the importance of, if you're working with so much energy, make sure to maintain your virtue and your purity. I'm not speaking in biblical, religious terms. I'm speaking in energetic, spiritual terms. Okay? The more power you herd into you, the more room and space you need to have. And if you have all rot inside of you, the energy of rot that is like exteriorly, you know, fun and tasty and wealthy, but it kills your energy slowly but surely. It takes away from your success, from your manifestation, from your wisdom, from your energy, your life force, from your ability to handle extreme changes. Empower yourself on all levels, Gemini. It's not enough to meditate, okay? It's not enough to read books. You need to think of what it is you're putting inside of you. And it's everything. It's everything. It's all of it. I told you, with power comes great responsibility to others, but also to ourselves, obviously, to maintain it. And what is maintaining? It's not holding. Maintaining is being in constant flow of movement. Out and in, and out and in. You want money to come in, it needs to come out as well. Sometimes when I want to make money, I spend money. Now, it sounds completely counterintuitive and weird, and don't try this at home if you don't fully understand how I do it. But if I come to a point where, like, oh, I have this and this expense, I need to buy this and that, I don't have, what do? I go and I spend. But it's with intention. It's with, okay, universe, respect to the energy of money, to the spirit of money. Money is a great spirit. Very powerful energy. I understand that you need to be in constant movement and flow. I respect that. Here, I'm spending you. I'm giving you back into the world so you could feel the life, so you could feel comfortable in coming back to me, maybe potentially even tenfold. Thank you. And I spend it on something worthy for me or for someone I love, you know? Let me show you your reading. This was your month of April. Buy more game. All right. So normally what I do in the extended is I take all the major arcanas and reorganize them chronologically. But it's just that there's so many majors in here. We'll see what I'll do with it. And then I take the numeric repetitions. Now, considering I don't have them here repeating, I'm going to do the High Priestess 2 and the 2 of Pentacles, Four of Wands with the Emperor, because the Emperor is 4. Also, the Death card can connect to the Emperor. 3 of Wands, because the Death is 13. And there we go. So this will be the beginning of your extended Gemini. I'll do this right now. I will link it below. After that, I'll do a new shuffle of the Celtic Cross, and then I'll do a rune reading. Speaking of Merlin and Mordain Le Fay from Avalon, Celtic runes. If you want to book a private reading with me, link to that is below. You can be anywhere on the globe. It's super easy to schedule with me. Check it out. I also teach tarot. It's called Tarot Masterclass. It's online. You go there whenever you want. You download how many classes you wish. If you want to become a real, genuine tarotchi, you go chronologically in the order of lessons that I've uploaded. If you're not up for that, you're just curious about several cards that came out in your spread, you just pick and choose specific ones, and you download them, and you sit in front of your computer whenever you feel like it, and it's yours forever to kind of learn from. So it kind of, I built it in a way that, you know, suits all tarotchi's needs. And 2019 Ministers of Magic, earlier on this year, I made a special extended for all the zodiac for the 2019 year. And this is somewhat of a new year as well. Happy spring, happy equinox, happy pagan new year. So if you want to go deeper into the entirety of your year, then feel free to check it out. All yummy stuff are below in the information box. If I'm not meeting you in the extended right now, I will see you in May. Thank you guys for being here. Join me on Instagram if you feel like it. It's the Existential Shift. If you haven't subscribed yet, join my tribe of seekers. Seekers, shifters, star seeds. Yeah. Okay. Bye for now.